Welcome to the Purpose to Create podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Wright, business strategist, certified life coach, and founder of Purpose to Create. This is a space for purpose-driven creatives to clear the noise, fuel their creativity with resilience, and lean into their purpose. I share actionable strategies and insights to help you thrive, both personally and professionally. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a nudge to move? Maybe God, your intuition, or just that deep knowing inside was telling you it's time, but instead of moving, you hesitated, and actually you overanalyzed it. You looked for more signs. You told yourself, I just need more clarity. I get it. I've been there too. Actually, I was there this week, asking for one more sign. Am I really supposed to be doing what he said to do? The nerve of me. He's already told me what I needed to do. But yet I still need more proof. I still need more signs. I still need more clarity. Delayed obedience is still disobedience, no matter how I try to prolong it. And often, the longer we wait, the harder it becomes to act. So today, we're unpacking why we hesitate to act on what we already know, the cost of delayed obedience, what it's actually stealing from you, how to move even when you don't feel ready, air quotes. Hesitation is rarely about knowing what to do. Most of the time, we know what needs to happen, and we actually know the steps we need to take. How about that? We just don't want to do it yet because we're not ready for the responsibility that comes with that. Why? Because fear, perfectionism, and control keep us in the loop of waiting. And here are some things that may come up for you. And if not for you, this is my personal experience. I have thoughts of fear of failure. What if I mess up? What if I'm not good enough? And then there's the fear of judgment. What will people think if I actually do this? And then perfectionism creeps in. I need to have everything figured out before I start. And I can't forget the need for control. I want to see the whole plan before I take the first step. And what God is actually trying to get me to do is take the first step, and He'll show me more of the plan. Because let's be clear, if God was to show me the whole plan, I probably would talk myself out of it, if I'm being honest. And I would probably do something to mess it up, probably do some self-sabotaging because I think, oh no, you don't want me to do that. And I messed the whole thing up. So I know for me, it's better that He just what's the next step, bro? Like, show me the next step and then reveal to me as I go. Please don't show me the whole thing because then that's where I'm going to get overwhelmed and, anxiety going to creep in. Think about the worst case scenarios about why we can't do the thing when He has already equipped us. Making sense? Here's the thing, my friend. Delayed obedience doesn't remove fear. It just gives fear more time to grow. Here's the thing, my friend. Delayed obedience doesn't remove fear. It just gives fear more time to grow. In James 1 verse 22, He doesn't sugarcoat it here. He says, do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. You ever notice how the longer we wait, the more excuses we create? We deceive ourselves into thinking and making it more than what it actually is. We're not listening to the word. We're not being doers of the word because we need more. We need more proof. We need more signs. Not sure if you're delaying obedience? Well, here are some signs. Let's make it plain. You keep over-researching instead of acting. You keep using perfectionism as an excuse. I'm a perfectionist. I got to get it done. I'm a perfectionist. I got to plan it out. How much planning do you really need to do in order to take the next step? You're constantly waiting for one more confirmation. How many more confirmations do you need? You feel uneasy because deep down you already know what you're supposed to do. If any of these sound familiar, it's time to stop waiting and start walking. And I'm going to say this again. It's time to start trusting yourself. I've said this in a couple episodes, but you really got to start trusting yourself to make good decisions. And if you haven't gotten there yet, I want you to repeat after me. I trust myself to make good decisions. We like to think hesitation is harmless, that waiting is wise, but let's talk about what delayed obedience is actually costing you. Delayed obedience is costing you momentum. The longer you wait, the harder it is to start. Delayed obedience is costing you opportunities. Some doors don't stay open forever. And I promise you, when you see somebody else doing what God asked for you to do, you're not going to like it. And you're going to wish that you acted faster. Then you'll try to go do the thing, and then it's not going to hit the same. So just do it off the break, okay? Ask me how I know. Delayed obedience will cost you confidence. The more you hesitate, the more doubt creeps in. And this is where that anxiety comes in at, because you've already talked yourself out of doing it because all of the millions of excuses that you gave it. Because guess what? You're going to still convince yourself you're still waiting for one more sign to do it. Delayed obedience is going to cost you peace. The avoidance that you create out of stress is not going to bring you relief. Delayed obedience is going to cost you alignment. Every time you ignore a nudge, you distance yourself from what's meant for you. We convince ourselves that waiting is smart, but sometimes waiting is just another form of fear. What if your next level is on the other side of the step you're afraid to take? Sometimes we delay obedience because we know stepping forward means leaving something behind. And most of the time, it's comfortable there and we're content. And because we can't see what's on the other side of it, we're not willing to risk it. And sometimes the something we're leaving behind is an old version of ourselves. Maybe it's a familiar place. Even relationships that no longer align, but you don't want to deal with what comes with letting that go. And that's hard. I get it. But staying stuck in the past won't bring clarity about the future. If God is calling you forward, He's already prepared you for what's next. He's already equipped you. Let me tell you my story real quick. Right before the pandemic, I felt a deep urgency to end my photography business. But instead of closing it, I rebranded it from my decade-long wedding photography business to personal branding photography. I launched with mini sessions to kick off the transition, and that's where it started, and that's where it ended, my friend. Because what I found, people weren't coming to me for photos at that time. They were coming to me for personal branding strategy, not personal branding photography. They wanted to know, how did you shift your business and not worry about what people would think? How did you let go of something you were known for and pursue other interests? And here's the kicker. That same year, God told me to start my podcast. But instead, I focused on my photography rebrand. And guess what happened? A few months later, the pandemic shut the world down. And that photography business that I worked so hard to rebrand, it never took off. But you know what did? This podcast. Thousands of downloads later, and a top 11 creative podcast recognition from my creative peers. All because I finally did what I was supposed to do all along. Talk about obedience over sacrifice. Spoiler alert. You may never feel ready. Readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. So I want to share with you a few ways how you can shift and start walking in obedience. Reframe your fear. Instead of, what if I fail? Ask, what if this works? Try taking one small step. You don't need the whole plan. Honestly, ask yourself, what are you going to do if you did have the whole plan? How much more perfect can it be? How can you nitpick it apart and make it be something that you're not even ready for? You don't need the whole plan. You just need a starting point. Stop overwhelming yourself with all the details. And honestly, let's detach from perfection. Done truly is better than perfect. This podcast is not perfect. My photography business is not perfect, but they're perfect for me because it's done. I am doing it. And that's better than being perfect. is because I'm actually doing what God told me to do. And I can't get that far without trusting the process. Here's what I've learned. Action creates clarity, and movement builds momentum. And Psalm 37, verse 23 couldn't have said it better. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord. I would rather have the steps that the Lord has ordered for me than me determine what my steps are going to be. Because I trip over myself every time, okay? When I try to do it, baby, listen, I'm bound to mess it up because it's not what I was called to do. I would rather be focused on what I'm called to do. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. It's time to move. I want to leave you with this purposeful pause. What is one area where you have been delaying obedience and you know exactly where it is? You don't even have to overthink it or talk yourself out of it or be like, I wonder where am I delaying obedience? Oh, baby, you know. And what's one small action step you can take today to move forward? Here's where that trusting yourself to make good decisions. Here's what I want you to take away today. You don't need more time. You don't. You need more trust in knowing you have what you need to do what God said. The breakthrough, the clarity, the growth, it's all on the other side of movement. It's on the other side of your yes. Stop overthinking and start stepping. And remember, delayed obedience doesn't remove fear, it just strengthens it. Move anyway. Thank you for listening to the Purpose to Create podcast. If you haven't yet, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and send this episode to a friend. Until next time, keep creating with purpose.